Hello everyone. Good evening. Am I audible clearly?
No, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's start then. Everyone came, I think, right? So if you have any doubts, please let me know. Anyone have any doubts? Okay. So I have shared my screen. If it's visible, please confirm.
Yes, this is
Okay, fine then. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing about S3, right? So basically, we have already have discussed what is S3 and what is S3 buckets, how this S3 buckets we can it's a reason specific service, okay, and we cannot check the availability zone of each S3 bucket because it's store the objects in distributed manners in all the availability zone, like at least in three availability zone of one region. Fine. So those things we already have discussed, and it's provide you the object type storage, so which is going to store objects, and mostly we'll use S3 for storing some kind of data like the image, videos like that. Okay. So mostly we'll use that, and also for the if you want to store some logs and matrices and all, right, so majorly we'll use for logs. Otherwise we'll use it for image and like images and videos, or sometimes we'll also use it to deploy our front end application. Okay. So if you want to deploy your website, that time you can use it only for the front end. Okay. So these are some use cases of S3. Now, next thing we need to discuss something about the bucket naming rules, as I already have told you, right? So basically we already have discussed these things. What is S3 buckets? Okay, we cannot have nested buckets. Okay, ownership is non-transferable, right? And S3 bucket is region specific, and we can have up to 100 buckets per account. These numbers are like important. Okay, you should remember these things, like one bucket can only have 5 terabyte like objects. Okay, so its size can be maximum 5 terabyte. Okay, and maximum we can have 100 buckets in one account. If you want to expand, you can expand it. You have to request it to AWS for that. Fine. So these numbers, it's required. You have to remember it, because sometimes in interview they will always ask these questions. Okay. So like maximum capacity of buckets, how many buckets you can have in one account, like that. Okay. There is no limits of one like a number of buckets in one region. Okay. So in total you can have 100 buckets. Fine. Now let's see the S3 buckets naming rules here. Fine. So the first rule is that your S3 bucket name should be globally unique across all AWS region. Okay. So how it should be unique, right? So let me explain you a few things here. Like it should be globally unique across one region. Okay. Just assume that now I am using Mumbai region. Okay. And in this Mumbai region, I am creating one bucket called my bucket. Okay. So now you like any one of you want to create the bucket in Mumbai region itself, and you are providing the name my bucket. You cannot create it in Mumbai region, but if you want to create it in different region, you can create it. Okay, so across all over the region globally, it should be unique. Okay, so this is the first naming rule for this for creating the buckets. Fine. Okay. So next rule is that bucket name cannot be changed after they are created. So once you have created the buckets, then you cannot change its name. You cannot rename it. Okay. If a bucket is deleted, its name becomes available again to you or other account users. So these points are the same, right? Like I have created it in Mumbai region, my bucket. If I will delete this bucket, then this name will be available for you or another users, that they can create the buckets using the same bucket name in Mumbai region. Okay. So, okay. So next is that bucket names must be at least 3 characters. Okay. And no more than 63 characters long. Fine. Bucket name are part of the URL used to access the buckets. So just like the Google Drive, as I said that S3 bucket, like your S3 storage is similar to your Google Drive, right? So when you want to access your Google Drive, any specific folder you want to access, what you would do, you share the URL, right? And using that URL only, you like anyone, like if you want to share that particular data with your friends, you will share the URL, and using that URL, your friend can access your folder in your Google Drive, right? So the same thing here we can do whenever we want to share the object of that buckets, right? So in that case, we will use always this URL. Okay. So whatever the name you will provide, that URL will also contain the bucket names. Okay. So bucket name must be a series of one or more labels. Okay, so if you want to provide not only a single labels to your bucket, but if you want to provide multiple labels, in that case, you can partition it using dot. Many people do like hyphen, and then they will provide like this bucket names like this, right? So instead of doing these things, what we can do, we can write here that we can give dot, and then we can provide the another labels. So if you want to give multiple labels for your buckets, in that case, you can provide dot. You can partition it using dot. Fine. Next thing, but bucket names can contain lowercase, number, hyphen. Okay, only lowercase, number, and hyphen. Not even the other special characters, and not even your uppercase letter. Fine. Bucket name should not be an IP address. Because it's having some dot and all, right? So it should not contain like this. Fine, it should not be an IP address. It means that like you cannot use only numbers for your bucket name. At least you should have the lowercase or like hyphen. Okay, at least you should have the lowercase if you are creating a bucket. Fine. Each labels must start and end with the lowercase letter or a number. Fine. So like any bucket's name will start with either lowercase or like numbers. Fine. By default, bucket and its object are private. By default, only owner can access the buckets. So this is some properties about the buckets. So basically, naming rules is done, right? Your bucket name should be unique across all over the region globally. Fine. Next thing is that your bucket name should contain minimum 3 characters and maximum it's 78 or something, right? Okay. Maximum it's
63.
63. Yes. Okay. So maximum it's 63, right? So, okay. And then once you have given the name to your buckets, once you have created the bucket name, you cannot change the bucket name, right? Next thing, like if you want to use multiple labels for your bucket, you can partition that with dot, right? Okay. So these are some naming rule for your buckets. Next thing is that here, whenever you will create a bucket, that bucket will be private always. Okay, by default this bucket will be private. It means that only the owner of the bucket can access these buckets and that objects which the owner is going to store there. Okay, so but if you want to give access to anyone, you can provide the access. Okay, so we will discuss how we can provide the access to the buckets. Okay, and like how to provide the access publicly, how to provide the access to a few specific users, right? We will see all of those things. Fine. Next, let's see here. We have some like S3 bucket sub resources, that is lifecycle, website hosting, and versioning, ACL. We will discuss all of these things later. Okay, so you have to see first this like how the bucket URL will look like. So the bucket URL will contain bucket, sorry, the reason endpoints. Okay, like always you will have HTTP, HTTPS, or then the reason and your reasons endpoint will be there. Just S3 EU West 1. So this is EU West 1. It is nothing but the reason. Okay, and S3 is the service, and then Amazon AWS.com. This is the entire this is entire your reasons endpoint, and then forward slash, and then you have to always provide the bucket name. So your URL will look like this. I will show you how it will like from where you will get this. Okay, so basically here we don't need to discuss anything. So let's discuss about the S3 object. Okay, so S3 objects we call the data, like if you are storing any objects in your S3 bucket, that we will call it as a S3 object. Okay, it can be 0 byte to 5 terabyte. As we know that 5 terabyte is the maximum size of bucket, right? So you can store 5 the bucket which you can store in the S3 bucket, that can be like that maximum size is 5 terabyte. Okay, so each object is stored and retrieved by a unique key. So whenever you will upload your buckets, right, the object, so object's name should be unique. And if it will be not unique, at that time you know that it will replace it. In any storage, just assume that in your laptop also, if you are storing in one folder, if you have created one file called file1, right? Again, if you will create another file that's name is file1 only, and you want to store it in same folder, it will always replace it, right? So that's why we should have unique key for each of the objects. Otherwise it will replace that old one and it will add the new one. Fine. It will overwrite the file. An object in an AWS S3 is uniquely identified and addressed through it will have the service points, okay, a service endpoints, which we already have seen there, that your S3 endpoints and service endpoints is like the same. Bucket name it will be having, okay. Using these things we can identify bucket name and your object name and your optional object version. We will see this object versions, how we can see it, and in that versioning case we will see. Okay, so if you want to identify any objects, you have to see service endpoint, bucket name, object key or object name. Fine. Object is stored in a bucket in a region will never leave that region, as we already know that it's a region specific service. But if you want to move that particular objects from the buckets which is present in Mumbai region to the another region buckets, like to your Tokyo region or to North Virginia region buckets, right? So in that case, we can use here the CRR. So we will discuss about the replications here. We have two type of replication, same region replication and cross region replication. We will discuss about this later. Fine. A bucket owner can grant cross account permissions to another AWS account or user in another account to upload the objects. Even I can even the owner can give the access to another account user to upload the objects or to use the object. Okay, and here you can grant permission. So how you can grant permission to individual user to any specific AWS account and make the resource public, so anyone can see your S3 buckets object, or to all authenticated users. Fine. So these are some details about the S3, and these are some basic details about the S3 and S3 buckets. Okay, so first we will see the hands-on for this, and then we will see bucket versioning, and then we will discuss the applications. Okay, like how to copy the objects in S3, how to have the backup of S3 buckets, right? So all of those things we will discuss later. Fine. So let's see the hands-on. Till that time, just let me know if you have any doubts about the S3, if you have any questions. Okay, no questions, right? Fine. Okay. So this is your S3 service interface from where you can create the S3 buckets, and from where you can uh, like see your objects and you can configure the S3, right? So here we have few types of now. As of now, I think 1 month back only it has categorized this S3 bucket. Otherwise, we were only having this general purpose bucket. Okay, so let me check. This directory buckets are optimized for use cases that requires consistent single digit milestone latency. If you want milliseconds latency, if you want high latency, in that case you can go with this directory buckets, but it will be charged more than this general purpose bucket. Okay, just like you have general purpose EC2 instance, and then you have the compute optimized EC2 instance, right? So compute optimized you will always take for the high latency because your CPU will be more, right? So it's like in directory buckets, this will provide you the high latency, even it will provide you the single digit millisecond latency. Fine. So we will see both the buckets creation and all the like functions, all the features will be same. Only the features, this is only the difference between these two buckets. Okay. So let's see how to create this bucket. So let's go to the general purpose buckets, and here you can create here. Click on create buckets, and let's see here. You have to select which type of bucket you want to create, and then you have to provide here the bucket name. Okay, so here you have to provide the bucket name properly. Let me give the bucket name is, it's like a paper life DevOps. Okay, so I don't think anyone have taken this name, but let's see. Okay, so as I already have told you, because like whenever we'll create a bucket, it by default it will be private. Okay, so if you will give the bucket name and directly if you will create the buckets, right? So in that case what will happens, like you will select all, like it will create the private buckets. Why? Because it has selected some default things. See, first of all, it has selected the object ownership, ACL is disabled. Okay, so ACL is disabled, it's saying. So what is ACL now, right? So ACL stand for access control list. Okay, so if you want to provide access to anyone to read or to list out your objects and all, right? So in that case you have to specify, simply you can say that it's a documentations where we can list out all the authorized users, like who can access which things, right? So those things we will specify in this access control list. Here we will create the list of the users who can access my S3 buckets. So if it will be disabled, it means that you cannot provide access to anyone. Fine. So basically here if you will see, it's disabled, but if you want to, like if you want to make your buckets private and very secure, you have to disable it. That's why it is recommended. But if you want to give access to anyone, okay, in that case you have to enable the ACL. So as of now, let's go with the same default setting, ACL disable one. Later we can enable it. Okay, so let's see it. And here one more thing is there, block public access setting for this bucket. Okay, so block all public access, it's enabled. Okay, the box it's tick, it means that it's enabled. It means that it will block all the public access. Like if anyone will access my S3 buckets from outside, it will not allow anyone to access it. So if you want to provide access to anyone, in that case you have to unblock it. Okay, so you have to uncheck this box, otherwise if it will block, no one will be able to access your buckets from outside. So let it be like this only, default settings only, bucket versioning we will see it later. Okay, so here, and just leave it, we will see this default encryptions and all later. And bucket key we have enabled so that it will provide the key for the buckets and the objects, right? Let's click on create buckets. If your name will be available, then only it will allow you to create the bucket. Otherwise it will show some, throw some error here, like your bucket name is not available, like that. Okay, you have to select the new name then. So this is my bucket which I have created. If you want to see few details about the buckets, let's go and let's see here. So this is the object sections where you can check how many objects you have. Like as of now, I don't have uploaded any object, right? So if you will upload any objects, it will show here. Next thing is that properties. Okay, so here few properties are there, like tags and all. If you want to add, or if you want to like change the encryptions and all, we will discuss all of these things one by one. Okay, next, if you want to provide permissions to anyone, you have to go to this permission sections, and from here we will give permissions to any users to access my S3 bucket. Fine. Then here the metrics, it will use CloudWatch, that is the monitoring service, right? And it will directly provide you the like it will monitor your S3 buckets, how much, like total bucket size and total number of objects. It's simply calculating that. It's simply monitoring that. Okay, and then it will show here as of now no data is available. Okay. Next is management. We have few things to manage here, life cycle and all. So we will discuss that later. So let's see how to upload the object, right? So let's click on this upload object, and I'm going to upload here one object. So here you can add files as well as you also can add the folders. Okay, so here object we will call only to only to your files, not the folder. Okay, so object is only one single file. So if you want to access your object, we'll have some URL. Let me explain that things first. Let me upload the object. Okay, so add the file. Let's I'm on download itself. I'm going to upload some images here. So 1 minute, let me check if I have. Okay, so I'm going to upload one image here. That so I'm going to open it and then you can upload it. If you want to add multiple files, you can click on add. You can select all of those files and then you can upload it. So I'm uploading now only a single file. Okay, so let's see now. Okay, it's uploaded. Let's close it. And now if you will see, this is my one object which I have uploaded, that is the image.jpg. This is the name of the object. Its a type is jpeg and the last modified date is this. At this time and date I have uploaded this object and the object size is this. Okay, and the storage class is standard. So we will discuss about this as well. Later we will discuss. Okay, so basically, I have uploaded one object here. Now, if you want to see this object as I am the owner, I can open it. So how I can open it? From here, I can take and I can click on open. It will open my page. Okay, this will open my object. This is my object, right? It's open. So now if you will see here, let's close it. So how the external people's, like as of now I am the owner and I am inside my AWS account, so I am able to open it directly through the console, right? But what if someone else want to access it? What if you guys want to access it from your laptop, right? So in that case we need to provide the public access. I need to provide the access to you guys, right? So in that case, let's see inside the image, like what I want that this particular image should be accessible by everyone. Like I want to make this particular object public, right? So in that case what I will do, I will share this object URL to everyone. Okay, so as of now let me share it with you also, and let me show you first thing. I'm sharing the URL with you. Okay, so here now you will be not able to access it. Let's see, it will show access denied. So if you will check it, you will get this option, that is access denied. Why? Because using this particular URL, see, as we know that we have the object URL, right? Sorry, bucket URL, we have discussed about that. So if you will see here in this properties sections, you will get the bucket URL where it is. Sorry, in your object itself, you will get it here. Okay. So S3 URL, it is there. Fine. So basically this is your object URL. So this object URL you have to use to access a specific buckets. Okay. So here in S3 buckets, if you want to provide the entire S3 bucket access to anyone to access that the all of the objects, in that case we will use CloudFront and all. We will discuss about that later. Fine. So as of now, if I want to give access for this specific particular object, in that case you have to, like I will provide directly this object URL and you will be able to access it. But as of now it is showing access denied, right? So what I will do, I will change, because my uh, like as I know that, like I already have explained that, right? This bucket is S3 bucket is by default it's private. So we need to make this bucket public, then only you will be able to access my bucket, right? So in that case, what I will do, I will go to the permission sections and here I will edit this ACL. Okay. So, but as of now, if you will see, edit option is not available here. Why? Because we have disable our ACL, right? So for this, you have to enable ACL. And how you will enable ACL? Just click on bucket on enforced. And here you have to click on ACL enable. Just acknowledge it and save the changes. Fine, it's done. Now if you will see here, you will get this options access control is you can edit it. But here it is saying public access is blocked because block public access settings are turned on for this bucket. So you not only have to enable ACL, you also have to unblock your public access. So in permission sections only it is there, block public all access, right? Click on edit, unblock it, okay, and then save the changes. It will ask you to confirm. Let's confirm it. Okay, so it's done. Now we can provide access to for my buckets. So let's click on edit, click on edit. What I want to provide here the public access. If you want to give access for this authenticated user, you will have to create a group, and then you can provide the like a specific to the specific users you can create, like you can provide the access. Okay, so basically what I want to give a read access and list access for like publicly. Okay, so I'm giving access to everyone. Let's save the changes. Mm, you don't have permission to edit ACL. Why? It's my account itself. One minute. I'm only the root user. One minute. 403, why it should not give this access? One minute, let me check it, okay? It's fine. There is no other users and I'm the root user. So it should work. Okay, it's on. I think it was refreshed or something. It's happened and it was not on, right? So now we can do the changes. Sorry. List and read access I have given. Save the changes. Okay. Now it's done. Sorry, it was my mistake. Okay. So I have given the access to everyone for my bucket. But if you will go to my URL which I have shared, and if you will refresh it, again it is showing you the permission denied. Okay. So why it is showing permission denied? Because your bucket is public now, but your object is private. Okay, so even if your bucket is public, and if you will have multiple objects in that bucket and you want to provide a specific object access to a specific person, you can do it. Few object you can make it private, few object you can make it public, right? So that is possible. So what I'm doing, I am going to make this particular object public. So how we will do it? So there is two kind of permissions we need to provide. First, we need to provide for our bucket. Second, we need to provide for our objects. Okay, so here we have the options called permissions within your object, right? So here edit the ACL, give the read access to everyone, and list like read for object and read for object ACL. Okay, so it will read object ACL and it will also read the object. So let's click on save changes. Now if I will refresh you will be able to access it. Even I have shared the link with you, right? So I have shared the link with you. If you want to try it, you can try it. Just try to access the image object using this particular link. Everyone got the link, right?
Yeah, it's accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible, right? For everyone, it's opening. Like that image is accessible, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. So this is how we can create a bucket in on S3, as well as this is how we can upload object, and we can make the object public so that anyone can use it. Fine. Okay. Uh, if you want to try, please try it. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Okay. And everyone should share their like upload one image and share the URL with me. Okay. So I will check that, and then after that you can delete your buckets. Okay. After the class, you can delete your buckets. Fine.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. I'm in mute. So if you will have any doubts, let me know. Okay. Yes.
How can I get the URL?
You have to go to the objects and there you will get it from here. Here you will get the object URL, right? Inside this image.jpg, this is the object.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Abhishek, it will we have some limitations for the free tier. Okay, so don't worry. After this sessions, we'll delete our S3 buckets. Okay, and the billing things also we will discuss about S3, how it will charge you. Okay. So when we will see this S3 storage classes, right? At that time we will see. But for this S3 bucket which we have created now, that is using this S3 standard storage class, so it will not charge you much, and this also comes under the free tier. Okay, so but we have the few limitations here. Okay, I need to check the limitations exactly, but don't worry, it will not create a bill. Okay, fine. What about others? Manish done, Shivani done, Hemant done, and Janab done. Okay, Nidhi done. Have you shared? Who has done this? Who has done? Please send me the URL. Okay. Well, it's done. Okay. Please send URL. Don't say done. Okay. Someone else has shared the. Okay. Okay. What about you, Abhishek? And Ajit?
I'm still in progress.
Okay, Ajit.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Just now I joined.
Okay. You were facing some issues, I think, right? You are joining again and
Yes,
just.
yes, yes, yes. My network is down, so that's why.
Okay. Gaurav?
Nikita, just give me some time. I'm watching on my tablet and doing it in my laptop. So give me some time.
Okay, fine. Gaurav? Mohsin, have you shared? No, right?
No, Nikita. I'm in office right now, so I'm not able to connect with the laptop.
Okay, fine. No problem. Okay, Siddharth.
Yeah, Nikita, I'm watching over the phone. Yeah, right now I'm outside. So I'll do it later.
Okay. Okay, fine. Priya, have you shared? No, right?
Ma'am, I have connected through mobile, so it is not possible offline. I will practice offline and share you.
Okay, fine. Okay, so everyone done, right? Then other than these peoples, everyone have done. It should be disabled, like go with the default settings, okay? Don't do anything else there.
Sure.
Okay, Abhishek, how much time you need? I think you have started right just now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can we continue? You can do that
Yeah,
later.
you can continue.
Okay, fine then. Okay, so basically we have discussed how to create the S3 buckets and how to upload the objects there, right? So now, what we will do, we can, we will see the bucket versioning. Fine. So the first thing is that these are things we already have seen. Objects part we already have seen, right? We have some properties part. Here we have some bucket overviews, right? So bucket overviews, what in which reason we have created the buckets, and then simply your buckets ARN and your when you have created your bucket, the date and time. Okay, your resource ARN. So basically, if you will see here, we have this the second topic, that is bucket versioning. So what is this bucket versioning is, right? So as I said that each of the object will have it should have the unique key, right? Just now I have uploaded one object that's name is image.jpeg, right? That name is image. If I will save any other picture's name as image and then I will upload it, right? So at that time, what this bucket will do, bucket will replace it will delete the older version and it will add the new new objects in place of that. If the the object key, if it will match at that time. Okay, so let's do one thing. What we will do here, let's upload one object that's called file1 or something. I already have one object, I think. Let me check it here if it is there. Okay, it is not there here. I think it should be here. Otherwise, we can create it. Okay, that's fine. So let's do one thing. I'm going to create one folder, one file here inside this Maven that will be the text file. Okay. So in this note file, let me create one text file and I'm writing here hello. Okay. And let me save it. So the same name I'm giving here. Okay. And let me save it within this Maven. Okay. This is the directory where I'm storing this particular hello file. So what I'm doing here, if you will see, this is the hello.txt file, or if you want to rename it, you can rename here. Let me rename it to file1 so that it will be. Okay, so let me give the name as file1 so that it will be good. Okay, it will be not that much confusing. So now if you will see, I have created one file here that's called file1 and I'm going to upload that file1. So inside that file1, what content I have, that the content is your hello, it's written there, right? So add the files and I'm going to select that particular file that is inside Maven directory. I'm uploading this file called file1. Let's upload it. After uploading it, let's access it directly from the console, because if you want to access it using the URL and all, again and again, you have to give permissions for this specific object, right? So we want to test here the versioning. That's why I'm simply opening it directly from here. Okay, so if you will be able to see here, it's written hello. Okay, so it opened that particular file and the content inside that file, that is hello here, which is written here. Okay, fine. So, so that file is not open here. 1 minute, let me
open the file again. Okay, so this is only my file 1.txt. Now what I'm doing some changes here, like I'm adding some content, good evening, right? And just saving it using Control S. So now in this file one, I have two contents. One is the hello and other is the good evening, right? So what I'm doing now, I'm going to upload it again. So in the same bucket, I'm going to upload this file 1.txt again. So what it will do, it will overwrite the previous file. So basically I'm uploading it again and now upload it and just close it. And now you will see you only have one file 1.txt, and if you will open it, it will have the like new content, not the old content, right? So if your object key will be same in that like at that time, it will override the old buckets, sorry, old objects, right? So basically if you will see here, fine. So what if you want the previous file as well? Okay, sometimes we want to store all versions of file, right? We don't want to delete any specific we don't want to delete the old version of file, right? So in that case, you can enable the versioning. Okay, so when you will enable the versioning, at that time, what it will do, it will not overwrite the old file. It will keep the old file as well as it will also keep the new files. Okay, so how you can enable the versioning? Let's see here. Let's go to the properties sections, and here you can enable the versioning. Okay, so here you will get two options only. One is the suspend and one is the enable. Okay, so there is three status of this bucket versioning. Okay, we have three status for bucket versioning. Okay, so what are these three state? First stage is that first state is like it will be at disabled mode. So by default, it will be disabled. When you have created your S3 buckets, at that time it was asking you bucket versioning disable and enable options was there. Okay, the second is that enable. You can enable the versioning, and the third state is suspend. Okay, so whenever you will enable the bucket versioning, each of the buckets will get one version ID. Okay, so one unique ID, each of the version of the objects or each of the objects will get the version ID. Okay, so if you will enable this versioning, you will get the version ID. So now there is three states: disable, enable, and suspend. So once you will, by default, when you will create the buckets, your versioning will be disabled. But once you have enabled your versioning, right, then you cannot disable it. You only can suspend it, right? So what it means and what this sentence means, right? So basically, whenever you will enable your version ID, it will provide, versioning, it will provide the version ID to each of the objects. Even as of now, we have image, okay, and we have file one. So these objects already I have uploaded, right? So now, what I have done, like this file one I have already uploaded. Now, what I will do, I will enable the versioning. Okay, I will enable versioning and then I will upload few objects. So after enabling the enabling your versioning, whatever objects you will upload, each objects will have a unique version ID. But the previous objects was there, right? Which in while uploading these objects, we not have enabled versioning, right? At that time, it will mark, like it will assign this null version ID to each of these objects when you will enable versioning. Fine. So just assume that I have uploaded file one and then I have enabled the versioning. So for this also it will be none. Again, just assume that I have uploaded this file one version 2. Okay, but after enabling the versioning. So in that time, it will have one version ID. Okay, so it will have some version ID. After sometimes what I have done, I have uploaded few objects and I have I don't want to store all versions of file now. So what I will do, I will suspend it. Okay, if you you cannot disable, you only can suspend. It means that previously whatever the versions of files has been stored and all, that will be stay as it is. Okay, but after suspending your versioning, right? So after suspending your versioning, whatever the objects you are going to upload, that objects will always have the version ID null. Okay, you cannot disable your versioning, you only can suspend it. So if you will suspend it, it will not store all versions of your files. If it will have the same key, it will replace your file, it will override your files. Okay, but all of these objects will have the null version ID. Okay, next thing is that if you will enable the versioning at that time, whenever you want to delete your whenever you will delete your objects, that objects will not be deleted permanently. Okay, so what it will do, whenever you will delete it, it will go to the delete marker. Okay, it will go to delete marker. Just assume that I have enabled the versioning and now I have I have uploaded this file 1 version 2. Now it is available there, right? So what I will do, I'm deleting this file 1 version 2. When I will delete it, it will not get deleted permanently. It will be moved to the delete marker. Okay, so delete marker, it's just like the trash bin. Okay, so whenever you will delete your any files from your laptop, it will go to trash bin, and after some times it will get deleted automatically, right? So it is just like the same. And here, if you want to again bring that file back, if you want to bring that file back to your S3 buckets, right? In that case, what you have to do, you have to only delete this delete marker. If you will delete object, it will move to delete marker. If you will delete marker, it will again move to your buckets. Okay. So basically, it's the like when you will enable the versioning, these are the features the bucket versioning have. So till now it's clear. Any doubts? Sorry. Anyone have any doubts?
It is clear.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay. Fine. So let's see. We'll see the hands-on for this, right? So here, if you want to enable the versioning, you have to enable versioning. Just directly click here the enable versioning and save the changes. Okay. Okay. So here bucket versioning is now enabled. Okay, so now what we have to do, let's go to the object, and this file 1 have the content hello and good morning, right? So this is only my file, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some more changes here. Let's do some changes, okay? And just save it, Control S. So now I'm going to upload the same file1.txt again with the different content. Okay, so let's upload this file 1. Click on upload, close this. Okay, so it's uploaded. Now let's open this file txt, right? So if you will open it, see, it's showing you the latest content which we have. So this is your latest file1.txt, right? Which you have uploaded just now. But what I have enabled the versioning, so it should show the previous version also, right? So to see that, you have to click on show versions. So when you will click on show versions, it will show all of your versions, like all versions of your file here. Okay, so now if you will see this image.jpg, it's having some version ID, right? It's null, and this is also null. But this file1.txt, like this is the new version, like second version of file 1, this is having some version ID. Fine. So now, if you want to upload, the next file, like I'm going to do some other changes here, and if I will upload it again, okay, so that will be the third version of file that will get stored here again. Okay, so let's upload it. Let's add the file. Okay, and let's upload it again. So if you will see, if you will open this content, it's your new file, right? If you will click on show versions, all these two previous version is available. If you want to check the first version, you can open it from here. You will be able to see only the good evening is there. Okay. And now if you want to see the second version, you can check here the second version. Okay. You can click on open and you can check it. Okay. So now what you will do, if you want to delete this version of file, let's see, I'm going to delete this. Okay. So let's try to delete it. Okay, it's asking me to delete it permanently. 1 minute. I cannot delete it permanently. It should not show this. All objects in the folder will be deleted and new objects added when the deletion is in progress might also be deleted. Okay, fine. It should not delete it. It's asking to delete it permanently. So it means that it will not move it to delete marker. So I just need to check the updates. Okay, earlier it was doing it, but let's try to delete. I think it will delete permanently only because it's asking for the permanent delete, right? So it will not move to delete marker. So I think in S3 they have done some changes, right? So we need to check it once. Yes, it's deleted permanently. Okay. So I need to check that delete marker things if they have updated something. Okay. Because last few months or few weeks only they have updated many things on S3 service. So let me check for all of those things. Then again, we will see about this delete marker. Fine. Okay. So till now, anyone have any doubts? Like this, we can enable the versioning and we can disable the versioning. See, one more thing I told, like whenever we we cannot disable the versioning, we only can suspend the versioning, right? So if you want to suspend versioning, what you will do, this is your bucket versions, right? So let's go to this and suspend it. Okay, just acknowledge it and then save the changes. Okay, so here it is. Now we have suspended it. Now if you will upload the same file, let's see, I'm going to do some modifications here and then I'm saving it and then I'm uploading the objects again. Okay, I changed the contents and I added the file. Now if you will see here, it should have the new content. So here it's having the new content. Just a minute, let it open first. See, this is having the new content, which we have now, right? Now, if you will see, click on show all versions, you will only get one previous version itself. Okay, why? Because we have suspended the versioning. So previous version is available here. Okay, and it simply have overrides the versions previous file which when we not have enabled the versioning. Okay, so the file 1.txt which had that null that null version ID, right? It replaced that one. If you will see it open this, you will get this. It's the second version of your file. Fine. So basically, this is how the versioning will work. So anyone have any doubts till now?
No doubts.
Fine. So here the versioning we already have seen. Then we have one more thing within this versioning, that is multi-factor authentication delete. Okay, so this is MFA delete. So just like that in Instagram and Facebook and all, everyone have already enabled the two-step verifications, right? For one extra security, right? So this MFA is just like that. Multi-factor authentications means we can have this security level, like we are adding multiple security layers here. Okay, MFA. I think many people already know about this because in all the organizations they are using now this MFA. Okay, so basically it's nothing but it's just like your two-step verifications. What you will do there, you will give your password as well as you will provide some code. So here, if you will enable MFA for your Rusty bucket, like MFA delete. So here we have the term that is MFA delete. So if you will enable MFA delete, at that time, what it will do, whenever anyone want to delete your objects, right? So if anyone want to delete your objects, they need two things. So first the password for your AWS account, and they also need this MFA code to delete the this particular to delete these objects. Okay, so basically this MFA delete is nothing but we are simply adding one more extra security for the S3 bucket so that no one can delete my objects. Even by mistake, even I cannot delete my buckets, sorry, my objects. So because of that reason, we can enable MFA delete. Okay, if you want. So to enable this MFA deletes, first you need to enable the bucket versioning, and after enabling this bucket versioning, you can only to modify MFA delete, you have to use the CLI SDK or your Amazon S3 REST API directly from the console. You cannot do it. Okay, so you can do it using AWS CLI and all. So we can see it later if you want. Otherwise, it's not the big topic and it's not the important topics that we have to cover. Okay, so basically you have to know what is MFA what is MFA delete. Okay, so this is the work of this. Fine. Next, you have the tag. If you want to keep any tag, you can keep it. And then if you want to encrypt the data of your S3, right? In that case, you can use this default encryptions options. It has its own keys. Using those keys, your AWS will encrypt your S3 bucket. Okay, and this intelligent tiering, we will discuss it later. And server access logging, these are the things that is related to your monitoring, this CloudTrail and all. We will discuss that later. Even notifications and all. Okay, and static website hosting, we will see it as a project. Okay, so we will see it later. So as I already have explained that S3 bucket, we also can use to host our website. Even to deploy our front-end application, we can use S3 buckets. Okay, there we can deploy our application, and from by using the CloudFront or directly this object URLs or something, we can access it. Okay, and using this website URL also, we can access our application. So we will see that later. In this permission sections, we have seen already this block public access. We will discuss about this bucket policy later. Bucket ownership, sorry, object ownership and ACL. We already have discussed about this, and this CORS, we will discuss about this later. Fine. So now if you will see the next topic from here, we can see after bucket versioning, we have copy objects, I think. MFA delete done. Okay, S3 multi-part upload. This is one of the most important topic that we have to know, but we cannot see the hands-on for this because I don't have any objects for more size and it's not the free, it doesn't comes under your free tier, and for this it will charge you. Okay, for this you need the multi-part API. You need one API. So that's why now the hands-on for this, it's not possible now. Okay, so basically what is this S3 multi-part upload? Okay, so just assume that you want to upload one big size object in your S3 bucket. Just assume that you want to upload one 5 GB file in S3 bucket, right? So in that case, what will happen is like this 5 GB, if you will upload 100 MB or 200 MB file, right? At that time, it will upload fastly. But if you want to if you want to upload this 5 GB file in your S3 bucket, it will take more time, right? Because the size of the object is very it's large, right? So in that case, what we can do, we can use your S3 multi-part upload API. Okay, so there is some API that's name is S3 multi-part upload API, which your S3 will provide. Okay, so in what this API will do, this API will divide your particular 5 GB of data into the small chunks so that the size will be distributed, and parallelly it will store all of those chunks to your S3 bucket. Okay, and it will again resemble there, and it will create it will store it as an object itself, but again it will resemble within the buckets. Okay, so while uploading the objects, it will simply divide it into multiple parts and then upload it there in S3 bucket. So basically, if you have a large size object, always it's recommended to use multi-part upload API. Fine. So in which cases we need to use it? If you will see here, it is used to upload an object in parts. Parts are uploaded independently and in parallel in any order. It is recommended for the object size of 100 MB or larger. Okay, so minimum if you want to use multi-part upload API for more than 100 MB size of object, you can do it. Okay, but you must have to use it like for larger object than 5 GB. Okay, this is done through S3 multi-part upload API. Fine. So this is your S3 multi-part upload API. Let me show you here. It will be in management sections. Okay, here. Sorry. It should be in properties sections only. Again, it is not there. Object locks and all. It should be here. Okay, I will check this again, okay? Because the options was there in properties sections. Let me check it again. Okay, so just know about this multi-part upload API. This is how it will work. Okay, so we need to enable this multi-part upload API from somewhere. So now the option is not available here. Okay, and you need to check this topic again. So I'll check it and then let you know. Fine. Till that time, we can see this copying the S3 objects. Okay, so if you guys are clear with this versioning and if you are clear with this multi-part upload API, let me know. Okay, we can continue with the next topic, that is CRR and SRR. So is it clear? Clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys want to try with the versioning things, or shall I continue with the topic? And do you want to try the hands-on for the versioning, bucket versioning? Otherwise, I can try, like I can continue the topic.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. Okay, fine then. Okay. So let's see then. Fine. Just a minute. Okay, so here about this copy the objects, right? So we have two things, like how we can create the bucket backups, right? So this copying the objects, it means that how we can copy the objects from one bucket to another buckets, right? So the same thing here, you can say that how we can create the backup for our bucket. Okay, backup of buckets. So basically that we will call it as a replica and replication. The process will call it as a replication. Everyone know what is the replications and what is replica, right? Replica means just like when you will stand in front of the mirror, you will see your replica on mirror, right? So it's like same to same. Fine. So here what we will have, we want to keep the backup for the bucket, or if you want like if you want high latency, in that case you can have multiple buckets and you can have like the same data within that buckets, right? So you can use all of those things. So in these cases we'll use replica. Okay, so here we have two types of replications. Replications means creating the copy of buckets. Same to same buckets will have. Okay, so here we have main buckets, right? So just assume that here we have one bucket that we have given the name paper life DevOps, right? Sorry, I just should give the name as AWS, but I have given DevOps, right? So the paper life DevOps. So I have given my bucket name as this. So this is my bucket that is present in Mumbai region. What I want to keep the backup for this. So in this case, what I will do, I will create a replica for this particular bucket. Okay, and that bucket should be like that could be in the same region or in different region, even in same region and different account, and Also, you can have this particular, like here, when we have main bucket and when we have replica bucket. So main bucket I have in Mumbai region, right? For the replica bucket, we can have it in Mumbai region itself. Mumbai region, same account. Okay, there's few like a few things we can it can be happens, right? So one first thing is that you can have replica bucket in same region, like in Mumbai region, same account, right? And in Mumbai region, different account. And you can also have different reason, same account, different reason, and different account. So you can have these much possibilities, right, to create a replica of that buckets. So just assume that you want one bucket in Mumbai region, one bucket in Tokyo region, that you can do. Okay, for the latency purpose or something, like if you want to store it in both the data centers, you can do that. Second thing is that if you have two accounts and in both the accounts you want the same like your same data in both the buckets, right? At that time also you can create the replica. So here you have two type of replica. One is CRR. Sorry, first we will discuss about SRR. One is SRR, that is same reason replication. Okay, same reason replication. Another is CRR, that is cross reason replication. Okay, so this all comes in the same like cross reason, these things, like same reason, different account, and different reason, different accounts. All of these things will comes under the CRR itself. Okay, so even the account is getting changed, it's a CRR. So basically, same reason replication means your replica bucket should be in the same reason on which your main buckets is available. Okay, so as of now, my bucket is in Mumbai region. So I should have my replica bucket in Mumbai region. Okay, next thing is CRR, cross region replication. You can create the like buckets, like you can have the replica bucket in different region or in different accounts. Okay, so basically here we have like if you will comes to the pricing things, right? So in that case, if you will use SRR, it will only charge for the storage. Okay, so basically S3 will charge for storage, right? So one storage, it's occupying few storage. This particular main bucket is occupying some storage, as well as your replica bucket is occupying some storage, right? So when you will use SRR, if your replica bucket is present in same region, in that case, it will only charge for the storage. Okay, but if your replica bucket is present in different region, in that case, it will charge for storage, and it will also charge for the copying the object. Okay, so whatever it's replicating the objects from one region to another region and from one account to another account, right? So it will also charge for those things. So for the free tier, I will not recommend you to try the hands-on for the CRR. Okay, but if you want, I can I can show you how we can create the replica in different region. The same way how we will create in the same region, that only like I will let you know how to do that as well. Okay, so basically this is your like replications things, like we have CRR and SLR for S3. So is it clear? Okay, so let's see the hands-on for this. Okay. Okay, so for this, what I need a replica bucket. So I'm going to create a replica buckets here. And for this, let's click on create buckets and give the name of the bucket. Okay, so you can provide any name for this bucket. So I'm giving the name for this bucket as Paper Live DevOps replica, because I want to make it replica bucket. So I have given this name. So ACL is disabled and enabled, doesn't matter, because whatever we are accessing our objects from the that main bucket, not from here, right? So let's go with the default setting and click on create buckets. One more thing, sorry, you have to enable the versioning as well. Okay, so enable the versioning and click on create buckets. Okay. Okay, so now this bucket has been created, and as of now, I don't have any objects. One more thing is that for the main buckets also, you have to enable versioning. Otherwise, it will not like replicate all of your bucket. So sorry, all of your objects. So let's enable the versioning for this as well. Now, what I will do, I want to create the backup for this particular main buckets, right? So in this case, what I will do, I will create a replication rule for this. Okay. So I want to make that paper life DevOps replica bucket as a replica of this particular buckets, right? So let's go to the management. Here you will get something called life cycle, replication rule. We will see this life cycle rule later. Okay, replication rule. What you have to do, click on create replication rule. Give the rule name. So here you can give the rule name is one. You can define multiple rules so that you can provide the priority here. So this is my first rule. So it's already its priority is 0. Okay. So now if you will see source buckets, so it will be, if you want to implement this particular rule for specific buckets, in that case, you can select these options and you should have some, you should give some prefix like some filter types. Okay. Like if the object is started with this, then only implement this rule. It's like that. So I want to apply it to all the objects. Next thing is that you have to select the destinations. If it's in same reason, select the choose bucket in this account. If it's in different account, if it's in same account, you have to select it. If it's in different account, you have to select it. Okay. So now you have to provide the account ID that you will directly get it from here, right? So if you want to, like if you have the replica buckets in different account, just give the account ID of that particular account and then give here the bucket name. Okay, so as of now, my replica bucket is present in the same account. And when you will browse for S3, it will show for all regions. All regions bucket will be there. So as of now, I have buckets only in Mumbai region. That's why it is showing here. Okay, so here you can have, if you will have your particular S3 buckets in different region, it will list out here. So you have to select which bucket you want to make destinations, which bucket you want to make replica of this bucket, right? So choose the path. It's done. After this, you have to select one IAM role. Okay, so as of now, you don't know about the IAM role, right? So basically, why we are using it? We are simply allowing this particular buckets, like we are simply allowing the next bucket, like this replica bucket. We are giving the permission to this replica bucket to copy the object from this paper life DevOps bucket to this paper life DevOps replica buckets. Okay, so to copy the objects, we should give the access for this particular bucket, right, to this paper life DevOps bucket. So that we are doing using this IAM role. So we will discuss about this IAM role. When we will learn IAM. Okay. So basically, let's see this, and after this, you can, if you want to encrypt and all, you can use that. Otherwise, just click on save. When you will click on save, it will ask whether you want to replicate the old objects or not. Okay, so it's taking more time. Okay, so do you want to replicate the existing object or not? If you want to do that, just click on yes. I don't want, so I'm just clicking it. No, do not replicate the existing object. So just submit it. Now your rules has been created. Now, if you will see to this, like if you will go to this and let's upload some objects here. So click on add files and let's check few objects. Let me upload here. This N2 is there, right? Let me upload this. Okay. So one object I have uploaded, that is N2. And now if you will see, I have uploaded it in paper life buckets, right? Let's go to the buckets and then let's go to this replica bucket and let's refresh it. It will take some time to copy it. Okay. So let's refresh it from here. If you will see this particular objects already, like it's replicated to this particular replica buckets. I have uploaded it on this main bucket, right? So basically, let's upload it. Let's upload some other objects here. So let me select something like this image. It's uploaded. Now I have uploaded in paper life DevOps. If you will go to this replica bucket and then if you will refresh it, it will show that After some time, it will show, okay? So just wait for some time and then refresh it. You will get it. Just wait for a few minutes, I think, because that is the image, right? So the size is more. Its size was only 1.6 KB, so it was copied easily. Okay, now you can check it. Right, it is available. So this is how your replica will work. If you want in different reason, if you want in different accounts, the same way you have to create their application rule. There is no difference between these. Okay. So is it clear?
Ma'am,
Anyone?
what is the duration of
Ma'am, please
backup?
repeat.
Sorry. What's
What
the
is the
duration of?
backup, ma'am? Means when we create a main in a main bucket, so how much time does it take to replicate in this replica bucket?
It's depends on the time, and it depends where you have your bucket. Okay, if it's in the same reason, see, it has taken only, I think, minimum maximum 1 minute it has taken, right? So it's also depends on your object size. Okay, how
Okay.
much time it will take to get upload. Okay, and it's also depends where your bucket is present. If it will be present in different region, at the time it will take more time to replicate, right?
Okay, then it depends on the size as well.
Yes. Okay. Anyone else have any doubts? Okay, I think someone was saying something, right? Please let me know if you have any doubts. I heard like someone have asked me to repeat the topic or something. Please don't hesitate. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay. And do one more thing, like you can practice with this replication things. Just create another replica buckets, and you can try with this replication if it's replicating the objects or not for you. Okay. Because see, hands-on is also very important. Because if you will do hands-on, then only you will get some questions, and like you will get some confusions, and you can ask the questions. Okay. Like the topic will be more clear if you will do the hands-on, then only. Fine. Okay, guys, so I'm giving you 5 minutes for this. Is it fine? It's 9:30, so I'm giving you 5 minutes, please, because everyone already have the buckets, right? So create a new buckets and enable versioning for the both and try to replicate your objects. And please create your replica buckets in same reason, okay? Don't create it in different reason. And create the replication rule as well. Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm giving you 5 minutes. I'm here itself. I'm muting myself. Is it done?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please show the IAM role once?
Just click on create a IAM role, okay? It will automatically create it, okay? You don't need to select anything else.
Okay.
Okay, automatically it will create. Is it done, guys? Vaisali, it's done, right? What about others? Okay, Rahul done. Okay, so let's continue then. Everyone done, right? Anyone have any doubts? Please let me know if it's if any doubt is there. Okay, fine then. Let's continue. Okay, so the next topic is that storage classes of S3. So I told you that we will see how the S3 is going to charge you, right? So your pricing model for S3, right? So your S3 storage, it's going to charge you for two things. Okay, so the first thing for which it is going to charge you, that is storage. Okay, so first cost, like it will calculate two cost. First cost is for storage. Okay, so like how much storage you are using, according to that it will charge you, it will cost you. Okay, and the next thing is that for the get request and put request. Okay, like how much objects you are uploading and how you are just assume that just leave this put only at this get request. Okay, so basically it will also charge you for the get request. Get request means it's going to charge you for retrieving your objects where you are storing. Okay, so two things it will charge. First thing is that for the storage, and second thing, how frequently you are retrieving your objects. Okay, like for each of the get request it will charge something. Fine. So like if you are watching, if you are accessing your objects, it will charge for that things. Okay. Sorry. So for these two things, S3 is going to charge. So according to this only, we have some storage classes. Okay, so according to the your S3 pricing models, you can say that we have some storage classes. So it will, in few of the storage classes, it will charge you more for storage. It will charge less for retrieving the objects, like for the get request, right? So all of those things we will discuss it now. So basically, if you will see here, we have 6 category and 6 classes of the Amazon S3 storage. Okay, so first one is the Amazon S3 standard. Okay, so Amazon S3 standard, it's a default storage class. When you have created your S3 and whenever you uploaded your object, if you want to see it, it's showing the storage class that is standard. Fine. So this is S3 standard, your standard class. Okay. So basically it's Amazon S3 standard. So this is the first storage class of S3. So what it will charge? It will charge for storage. Okay, and it will charge very minimal for this get request. Okay, so for the get request, just assume that it's not charging itself, like it's charging only for the storage. Okay, so if you will go with the standard like S3 standard storage class, at that time it will charge only for the storage and very less for this get request. Fine. Second thing you have, second class is there, that is S3 standard infrequent access. Okay, so here basically we have few things like how we'll categorize our S3 storage classes. It's like how you are going to use that object, how you are going to retrieve the objects. Okay, like just assume that you have some data, you have categorized that into few parts. Okay, like you have divided that into few parts. One part is that one part of the data you want to access it daily or daily multiple times you are accessing it, means frequently the data will be accessible. Fine. And the second part of data will be there that you only want to access it, like you don't want to access it frequently. Means this data is like this data is available whenever in future you can access it frequently as well. Okay, so few datas will be there that you don't want to access it frequently as of now, but in future you can access it frequently. Okay, so in that case, that is the second part of data. Okay, and the third part of data that you are sure that you are sure that you are not going to access that data from for last 1 year or for last 2 years, like that. Okay, that is the third part of data. So according to our use, how we are accessing the data, how those data are useful, right? So according to that, we will use our storage classes for S3. Okay, so if you are going to access that data frequently, in that case, you will use here the S3 standard. Okay, S3 standard class. And if you know that if this data, as of now, you are not accessing this particular data frequently, but in future, if it's needed, you can access it frequently. If those kind of data you have, that you will store always in standard IA. Okay, that's in standard IA. And the next thing is that will third part, if you know that you are not going to access these data for 1 year or 2 years, if you are sure about that, in that case you will use the type that is S3 Glacier. Okay, so we will discuss about this. And the fourth part, if you know that these data you are not going to store, like you are not going to access it for more than 10 years, for more than 15 years, 20 years, right? In that case, you will use the storage class that is Glacier Deep Archive. Okay, so these 4 classes are important, and few more are there. One June, and one is the your tier 1. Okay, so standard tier something is there. I will let you know the name as well. So these are 4 standard IA, Glacier, and Glacier Deep Archive. According to your use of, according to the usefulness of your data, we'll store it in these cases. Okay, these storage classes. Now, if you will go with this standard storage classes, it will charge only for the storage. It will not charge for the GET request. Okay, but if you will go for this second part, for the standard IA, it will charge for storage, and it will charge less. Its cost is lesser than your standard. It's the cost is less than your S3 standard, but it will also charge for GET request. Okay, again you have the Glacier. This will, this is charging for the storage very less. You can say that it's lesser than 70% lesser than your standard IA, but it will charge heavily for the GET request. Okay, it will charge heavily for GET request. So please just understand the pattern, how it's costing you. Okay, so basically this Glacier Deep Archive is there. This will charge, this is the cheapest storage class of S3. Okay, so it's charged very less for the storage, but it will charge very heavily, even more than your Glacier. It will charge for the GET request, as well as it will also give you very less latency. See, for both the standard and standard IA, the latency is same, because we know that latency is perfect only because we know that in these 2 classes we can access our objects frequently. But in case of Glacier, we are storing it. Just when you want to archive the data, in that case, we'll use Glacier or Glacier Deep Archive. Okay, so if you want to get, if you want to retrieve the data from this Glacier, at that time, at least you need few hours to get those data. Okay, so the latency will be very high here, and as well as it will charge you very less for the storage. It means that if you are sure that you are not going to access the data for more than 2 years, 3 years, in that case, you can use Glacier. Okay, and if you know that this data you need, but you are not going to use data in future, in future, sometimes you can you can need this data, but as of now, you think that we are not going to use these data. Okay, so in that case, what you can do, you can directly use this Glacier Deep Archive. Okay, like those kind of data that is not that much useful, but we must have to keep that data, because we cannot delete it, right? So in that case, you can store it in Glacier Deep Archive. It will charge very less for the storage. Fine. So these are the 4 classes of S3 storage. Okay. And the next 2 storage classes, one is this Amazon S3 one joint IA, and intelligent tiering. Okay, so one joint IA, it's one storage classes. As I already have told you, right, that whenever we create one S3 buckets, right, it will store the objects in distributed manner in multiple availability zone. Okay, but if I will select this particular one joint IA, if we will select it, what it will do, it is also for the infrequent access. Okay, and it will store all the data in one availability zone itself. It will not distribute it among multiple availability zone. So it's cheaper than your standard IA because it's using only a single availability zone, right? It's storing everything there itself. So that's why it will charge you less. So it is just like your standard IA, but it's in one availability zone. Fine. Next you have intelligent tiering. Okay, so this intelligent tiering is it's not tiering, right? So it's not like a storage classes. If you will select this particular storage classes intelligent tiering, what this will do, this will transfer your particular like your data from standard to standard IA or from standard IA to standard whenever it's required. Okay, so just assume that you have some data and you have stored it in S3 standard. Okay, so now if you will not access that data for 10 days or for 20 days, right? So in that case, what this intelligent tiering will do, it will transfer the data to standard IA. Okay, because no one is accessing it. So in that case, what it will do, the data will be stored in standard IA. So for the storage, it will cost you less, right? And now if someone is accessing the data frequently again, so in that case, this intelligent tiering, what it will do, it will again send the data from standard IA to standard, so that it will not cost you more for the GET request. Okay, so intelligent tiering work is to like move the data from storage S3 standard to S3 standard IA for the post cutting. Okay, so these are these are the storage classes of your S3. Okay, so next we need to see the life cycle rule for S3, and that depends on this S3 storage classes. Okay, so if you want to read this storage classes details, you can see all these things, durability, and you have 99.99% availability. Okay, over a given year, it's using SSL and SSL data in transit and encryption. It will use to for the data at rest for encrypt your data, right? So basically it's having all the details written here, as well as it's also have written the latency, which I have explained already. Okay, so you can read these points. I already have uploaded these notes on GitHub. Okay, you can get these notes, as well as all these three PPT I have shared with the admin, so you can get it on your portal as well, Paperlife portal, right? I think you have one portal where you get the notes, right?
There is no portal actually.
Okay, I think you can ask with Shafak. I think he is uploading the notes because he always asks me about the notes. Okay, I have shared with him. He said that he will upload it. Okay,
Okay.
so you can ask with him. Okay, so anyone have any doubts here? Anyone have any doubts? Next, we need to see here the lifecycle rule, and then after that we will complete our S3. Okay, so lifecycle configurations we will see, and then we'll complete with our S3. The website hosting we will see that in project sessions. So that is pending. Okay, we will see that. Fine. So after this, we'll see EFS, and that will not take much time. Okay, I will show the hands-on and the introductions part. And tomorrow only we will start with our IAM service. Fine. Okay, sorry. Auto scaling and load balancing is left, right, on under EC2.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll see auto scaling and then load balancer. Then only we'll go for IAM. Okay. Okay. So, and one more thing is that if you want to delete a bucket, first you have to empty the bucket and then only you can delete the buckets. Okay. First you have to delete all the objects which is available inside that bucket, and then only you can delete it. It's taking time. Right. It's done. Let's delete this bucket. Let's see. Okay.
Will we get charged for keeping the buckets open or no?
If you will keep buckets open, it will charge for the storage, right? If it's an empty bucket, at that time it will not charge. But if you have objects there, right, at that time it will charge you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if we delete without emptying, so after the deletion, can we clear the empty?
See, if you have deleted the buckets, it's fine, but you cannot delete it without deleting the objects. Okay, first you have to empty and then only you can delete it. Otherwise, you cannot delete.
So
Okay, that is
after,
the rule.
so after the deletion, we cannot empty, right? Before only we should empty and we have to delete.
See, yes. First thing is that if you have any objects in this bucket and if you want to delete, it will not allow you to delete it. Okay. First you have to empty the bucket and then only you can delete it. Otherwise, you cannot delete it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is only the rule to delete your buckets. First, delete all objects and then delete buckets. Fine. Okay. Let me raise the poll for that till that time. Okay. Fine. So let me know if you guys have any doubt now. I have deleted the buckets. Okay. Okay, everyone done?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Continue tomorrow. Okay. Sorry, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Fine. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.